PCs today?
Not today. I practiced yesterday, but
But you deleted everything.
yeah, I did everything, and
No,
I also
you
I
deleted
logged
everything.
in. Oh yeah, I deleted already,
Okay, fine, it's
but I
fine.
can I can make it again.
Okay, it's not a problem. Okay, so now what are we going to do is it's kind of a transit gateway is what we are going to create. Like I can quickly show you like by creating fast things, and you can also see now. So okay, what's the NAT gateway and this thing like NAT gateway. Okay, so from the jump server, can we connect to internet to the private subnet?
No,
Why?
it's just SSH. There's no internet connection. The
Yeah,
NAT gateway gives you the internet.
yeah. NAT gateway. That's the difference, right? If you are asking somebody like somebody's
Oh,
asking like what is the difference between NAT gateway and then the jump server? The jump server is kind of a centralized place where you can just connect to the VPCs. Sorry, connect to the private network to centralized server. What may be jump server? What will be a NAT gateway? NAT gateway, you can just allow the internet traffic from the NAT gateway to the private subnets. Okay, so that we can install some kind of packages and update packages and all these things, so that not the people from internet, they cannot connect directly to that machine. Only if you go inside that machine, you can just connect to it. Understand?
yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. For now, so now it's good that you guys are getting what's happening here, right? And I don't know why others are not joined. Okay, now I have a one two VPC. Okay, it's been connected to NAT gateway. Okay, so this is sorry, VPC peering, right? Peering, so that we can just connect from one network to another. So now, okay, I have okay. This is VPC one, VPC two. I have one more VPC now, VPC three. Okay, now I wanted to connect from VPC 1 to VPC 3. What I have to do now? And also, I'll tell you one more thing. Okay, I've created a VPC peering between VPC 2 to VPC 3. Okay, peering is created. VPC 1 to I mean this is happening now. Will I be able to connect from VPC 1 to VPC 3?
Yeah, but you have to make another peering connection. No,
Okay, no. With this setup, are we able to connect VPC 1 to VPC 3?
I don't think so.
Yeah. So you don't think so? It's not going to be possible. Okay. You need to create a multiple VPC connections like this. Okay. So similarly here also peering will come into the picture. Okay. So this one is like VPC peering, and this one is VPC peering. Then we need to have a lot of VPC peerings, right? So now I have one more VPC 4 also is there. Okay. So this one is called as a VPC 4. Okay. Now I wanted to connect with VPC 2. Now what I have to do now? Again, I have to create one more VPC peering to this VPC.
Yeah.
Okay, then it's going to be a separate VPC peering. Now, I want four VPC 4 to be connecting all the things again. Then I have to be connecting VPC peering to this one, and VPC peering to this one, and VPC peering to this one also, right? Like, and just imagine about like for the bigger companies, bigger companies with a bigger kind of organization, where they have multiple kind of products and everything, they wanted to connect it together. Okay, so this is kind of a little bit complex, the structure. Okay, so VPC, VPC peering kind of concept is a really a difficult kind of a structure. So instead of that, is it possible? Okay, instead of that, is it possible that we can have a centralized place where all the VPCs are connected together? All the VPCs are connected together. This one is connecting, this one is also connecting, and everything is connected. Everything is connected to the centralized place, whereas you know, whereas it can send a traffic from here, it will come here, from here it will go here, from here it will come, it will go here, from here it will come, it can go here. Even if you can create some thousand VPC again, some more and more VPCs again and again. Okay, that VPC, you don't need to create a VPC between these two, or a VPC peering between these two and these two. What you do is you need to go and attach, here connection to here. Okay, you just need to add the route table. Okay, you just need to add the route table, and then through the route table, you should be able to connect to the dedicated separate VPCs. Okay, this concept is called as a transit gateway. Okay, this concept is called as a transit transit gateway. Okay, so what do you mean by transit gateway? And if you have more kind of a complex VPCs, and instead of creating a VPC connection, VPC peering, and then you should be able to create a VPC transit gateway that will be used to connect to your instances for the multiple thing. Okay, you don't need to worry about like understanding like which VPC peering is being created to which VPC peering, and okay, these two VPC only connected, and these two VPCs are not connected, and all these things, right? Any questions on this one?
It's like basically it's just another gateway, but everything connects to that one
Yes.
instead, so you can communicate with all of them.
Yes, true. This kind of a gateway, this kind of centralized place where everything will be connected together.
So what's the purpose of it? Just so it can.
What's the purpose of, yeah? So that's the disadvantage of VPC peering is going to be a purpose of advantage of this one. So VPC peering, if you have five VPCs, okay, for example, if you have five VPCs, okay, if you have five VPCs, okay, if you want to create a VPC peering with one thing to, for this is the, one thing to everything, right? I want to create a VPC with this guy to all of this guy, and I have to create a VPC peering from this one to this one, and this one to this one, and this one to this one, and this one to this one. Okay, now this guy wanted to have a VPC peering with all these others. I have to do like this, you know, like this, and like this. Okay, now this one is already there. Now if you want to create from here to this guy, like this one is already there, this one is already there, and I want to connect it like this. Okay, now did you understand that what VPC is connected to what? It's kind of a really, it is creating a really a complex architecture. If you want to connect this one to be connected to this one, again, you already have this one, and you should be connected from here to here. So instead of that, what we can do with this one is that we can create a transit gateway. Okay, we can all connect everything to here only. We can have only one connection. Okay, transit gateway connections we can create. Okay, whenever we wanted to route the traffic from this guy to this guy, okay, we can enable a route table, okay, to only allow this CIDR to be able to connect it to this one through transit gateway.
So do you not need any more the peering connection? You don't have to make
so we don't need any peering connection at all.
Okay.
Okay, so it's avoiding a peering connectivity. So peering connection is like it's a little bit of complex, right? You're connecting one peering to another peering to some other peering, all these things you are doing. Fine. So this is what called as a transit gateway. Any questions on this? Achita? I think I already have two VPCs. I don't know when I created. Subnet 1, subnet 2. Okay, let me quickly create couple of VPCs and then show it to you guys. You know that is I think this I created long back. I don't know for what I created. Um, um, okay, and I'm going to delete this. Oh, I'm going to delete these two VPCs. One second, guys. சொல்லுங்க வீட்டில் போட்டுருக்கேன்
உனக்கு எப்போ சாப்பிட போவீங்க அவங்க சாப்பிட மாட்டாங்க
நான் இப்போ போகிறேன் இப்போ ஒன் 2:15 2:20
நான் போய்ட்டு ஒரு சில சொல்லி கொடுத்துருக்காங்க பேசி நான் டெராஃபார்ம் பார்க்கணும்னு சொல்லி அந்த ஏரியா தெரியுது நீங்கள் இன்ஸ்டன்ஸ் கிரியேட் பண்ணுறது
ரெக்கார்ட் ஆகிட்டுருக்கு நம்ம அப்புறம் பேசலாம் நீங்கள் வந்து நீங்கள் சாப்பிட்டு போயிட்டு வாங்க நான் வரேன்
நான் சாப்பிடலாம் நான் 10 நிமிஷம் ஒர்க் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன்
சரி சரி sorry guys okay so I'm going to delete VPC and okay peering connection is okay I'm going to connect the peering connection I think this one I created peering connection over here these two VPCs delete peering connection I don't think so for what I created this one for some other purpose maybe okay now I'm creating a VPCs deleting VPC I think I need to delete that tab. VPC2 also good delete. Okay, I have only one VPC. Okay, so let's create a couple of VPCs. You know, fatafat will fast 10.0.10.0.0.0/24, and you know all these things, right? Like if you wanted to practice again, you can just do it, and then VPC one. When I create VPC and create VPC again and VPC two, VPC 1.2. And so this one is like we can give it as a some different area. Okay, 192 192 dot 2 dot 168 dot 0.0 okay /24. I'm giving this one and I created two VPCs here. Okay, so now I created these two VPCs. This is the VPC 1 and VPC 2. Okay, and I'm going to create one more VPC. Create VPC and it's kind of VPC 3. Okay, and 172.16.0.0/24. Creating VPC. So this is what called so creating VPC with a different CIDR range. Today Abhishek was asking how to create a CIDR with a different range, right? So I just sent in the group that so you can just create there is a different IP address ranges are there so you can just use all of these three to create a different CIDR range. Okay, you understand till here?
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm going to create a 1 subnet inside that. So now I create a VPC. 3 VPCs is created. Okay, this is kind of a VPC1, VPC1 and VPC2 and VPC3. Okay, so all three VPC, and I'm going to create a subnets inside this subnet. Inside this. Okay, and now VPC one is like a, what is the VPC one? CADR 192.192.160. Okay, 10.0.10.0.0.0 slash 24. This one is like 192.192.168.0.0 slash 24, and this one is like 172.172.16.0.0 slash 24. So anybody having any questions about CADRs?
Yeah, a little.
Okay, what is the question?
Well, no question.
Okay, so you just have to learn about it, So it's kind of a
Yeah.
core technical concept, core networking concept. So we
Okay.
cannot go very very deep in that. Okay, if you want, we can just take one more session in the end, So how these things are working. Probably I can just dig through it. Okay, so but just for now, we'll just understand the basics of what is the CIDRs and everything. If you're not having
Yeah, I
kind of,
understand the basics. Like, I think it's fine.
yeah, that's good enough. So if you go for any
Okay.
interviews, they won't be digging very deeper into the networkings. So you know
Okay.
that I know kind of a CIDR and networking ranges and all these things. Then that is okay for them. Okay, they'll be looking for like what concepts you are explaining, right? So what is the concept and
Okay.
what are the things they are here and all these things they'll be explaining. Okay, now now I have three VPCs. I'm going to create a three subnets for each VPCs, and create a subnet for VPC 1. Okay, I'm giving subnet hyphen VPC 1 and no availability zones, no preferences, and I'm just creating subnet 000 slash 28 16 IP address it will take, and create subnet. Okay, now if you can go and create a subnet for a VPC2, VPC subnet FM VPC2 and 192.168.192.168.0.0 slash 28. It's kind of a 16 IP address. Okay, now subnet 3 is kind of a, oh, I didn't use VPC to VPC2 only for both of the things. VPCs VPC to VPC2. No, okay, 172 I can make this VPC2 into VPC3. So that's a mistake. Okay, so VPC3 is having a 172.16, right? VPC3 will be having 172.16. Okay, now I'm going to give VP subnets and create subnets, and VPC3 will be having a subnet type VPC3. Okay, no preferences, and this one is 172.16.16.0.0/16. Sorry, slash 28. Okay, now we have created a subnet, this one, subnet here, right? Now we are not going to create a VPC peering. So if you want to connect all these three, we're not going to create a VPC peering. Instead of that, what are we going to do? We're going to create a transit gateway. Okay, so the transit gateway is what you're going to create. So the transit gateway, I'm going to create a transit gateway in the middle. Okay, now this is going to be the transit gateway. The transit gateway. No, I don't need it. Okay, let's give the transit gateway. This is the transit gateway. Okay, I'm going to create the transit gateway. Okay, transit gateway, switch gateway, 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. Okay, so CIDR is optional. You don't need to create give any CIDR for this one, but you can just still you can create a transit gateway for this one. Okay, transit gateway is created. It will be just it takes some time for to create. You need to wait for a while. So now we have created a transit gateway, right? We are going to connect the VPCs to this transit gateway. It's not necessary that all the VPCs, whatever we created, it has to be attached to the transit gateway. Not necessarily, right? So whatever the VP, okay, now the transit gateway is created. Now it's just created. Like nothing is attached to this one. Now I've created transit gateway and where's transit gateway? Okay, now I transit gateway attachment. So transit gateway attachment, I create attachment, right? First one, transit gateway 01 is the transit gateway, and the transit gateway this one. Okay, transit gateway attachment uh, attached to VPC1. Okay, attached to VPC1. Okay, so the VPC, you can also connect to VPC and VPC1. So VPC will be like VPC1. I'm attaching this one to VPC1. In the subnets, whichever the subnet you have, you have created the T2, S2, and whatever how many subnets we created, the subnet is being listed here. So this one will be having the routing to the subnet, right? So create transit gateway attachment. Now what happened? Now we have attached the transit gateway to this thing. Okay, now similarly what we have to do, we need to go and create a
Okay.
attachment to VPC2 VPC2. Okay, and then the transit gateway is this one, and the VPC and the DNS support, all these things. Okay, we can just leave it up. Okay, so this VPC2, and it's been created in ES2S2. Then create a attachment. Okay, similarly I'm going to create. Okay, now this VPC2 is created. Okay, transit gateway. Okay, attachment. VPC3, and transit gateway is this one, and VPC is this one. Then select VPC is VPC3, VPC3. Okay, now create a transit gateway attachment. Okay, now we have connected a transit gateway. Okay, so now everything is being connected through the transit gateway. Okay. Now, okay, can you just guess what you have to do next? Any guesses? What you have to do next?
We need to connect it to in main one.
We already connected to main one. Then what you have to do?
Then we should check that.
It should work, huh? Automatically.
Yeah.
No, actually. So it should be like, like it should be like we need to enable the route. Okay, in the route table, we need to enable the route to to from one VPC to another VPC, okay, to enable the route to be able to connect. Okay, route table, right? This is kind of a really tough concept, right? There are some kind of route tables already there. Let's take a look at it. All this connected to actually created this for VPC one, VPC two, VPC three. Okay, I think it has been created by default. Maybe. Is it created when? Okay, VPC is VPC one, and okay, VPC one. Okay, we already have one route table for VPC one is already created. Okay, we're going to have a subnet association. We are going to we are going to add subnets. We are going to add a subnets. Associate to. Okay, create subnet and associate to like uh, sorry, subnet association, edit subnet association. So edit route table association. We can give this route table, okay, and then it's already been saved. So I'm just attaching this route table association to this subnet. Um, okay, subnet VPC1 and route table association, edit route table association. And if you want, you can also create a new route table. Okay, let's create a new route table instead of the default one maybe. Let's create a new route table. Okay, so let's create a route table like because just for you to clear it, right? And the VPC one route table. Uh, okay, select VPC, click on VPC one. Okay, and the route table, I'm creating the route table and VPC two, child VPC, same VPC. So route table 3, creating a route table. Asking for feedback on it. Okay, I can go here. Okay, I can subnet association, edit subnet association. Okay, so subnet VPC1. Okay, I'm assigning subnet to subnet 1. Okay, then I'm going to the subnet 2 and I subnet association and edit subnet association to subnet VPC, subnet of an VPC2. And I'm going here and subnet association and edit subnet association and subnet VPC3. Okay, so now everything has been added, everything is created with the subnets, the route tables. So here everything, all the things is having the route tables. This is a route table for this one, and this is a route table for this one, and this is a route table for this one. Understand? Okay, this is kind of a route table. It's kind of a route table 1, RT1, and this is RT2, and this is RT3. Now, what do you do next? What we have done in VPC peering? What we have done in VPC peering is that we have routed the traffic from this subnet to this subnet directly, right? Similarly, here what you have to do is we need to route the traffic from this route table to this transit gateway to this VPC. Okay, then if you want to connect this one and this one, or this one to this one, you can again have to have the route table from here to the route table to here. Okay, so that you'll be able to access from these two VPCs, and you have to create kind of a two. And if you want to connect from here to this one, then you need to add a route of this one to this one. Understand?
Yes.
Doubts? No. Okay, now let's go to, for example, I want to connect from VPC 1 to VPC 2. Okay, VPC 1 to VPC 2 connection. VPC, okay, I will just make this a proper drawing. Now I want to connect from VPC 1 to VPC 2 connection, right? Okay, now I wanted to go to VPC 1 route table and add this guy route that to transfer from the transit gateway, right? So I'm going to internet internet gateway. I'm going to route I'm going to route table 1, okay, and routes and edit routes. I have only local kind of a this thing, okay, and I'm adding a route. So I should be able to give, okay, VPC2, what's the CADR? VPC2, this is the CADR. Okay, we copy that CADR. Okay, then 192.168.0.0, and I'll be transferring through transit gateway, and the transit gateway what we created is attached to VPC1, that is the transit gateway. Okay, sorry, yeah, attached to VPC1 is the transit gateway. The transit gateway is the common transit gateway we have created, and then we have going to save changes. Okay, similarly now you should be able to connect from, we have enabled the traffic from here to the transit gateway. But the another catch is that we didn't create a internet gateway for this one. Okay, so we have not attached the internet gateway. So this VPC and this VPC will be able to connect only through the private network only. Okay, you won't be able to SSH into this machine also. You won't be able to SSH into this machine also. Okay, the reason why we have not connected the internet gateway for anything. For that, what you have to do, you need to create internet gateway for all the VPCs. Okay, and if you want the internet connectivity to VPC, all the VPCs, VPC1, IG, internet gateway. Okay, and next internet gateways, create internet gateway, VPC2, internet gateway, and VPC3 open internet gateway. Okay, so internet gateway is created. Okay, none of the internet gateway is attached. Okay, now VPC1 internet gateway, let's attach to VPC1, attach to VPC, select VPC, VPC1, and let's go to VPC internet gateway, and internet gateway 2, let's attach to internet gateway, attach to VPC2. Okay, internet gateway 3 attached to VPC, internet gateway 3. Now let's add the route table. The route table, we have the internet route table 1. The route table 1, we have the we have the target group is there, and then we can add the route table. Another route we can have that route all the internet traffic through internet gateway, that internet gateway to be VPC1 IG, because that is the internet gateway 1 is created. Okay, similarly we go to route table and route table 2 and then routes and edit routes. Okay, now okay, now it's already been created. Now I'm going to add this route table 2, right? I'm going to add two routes. I wanted to allow the route to be traffic from here to there also. Now I need to add route table 2 to here. Okay, 10.0 dot 10.0 dot 24, and is routing traffic through one connection is transit gateway, and the transit gateway which we have is VPC2 transit gateway, and then connecting. So VPC2 transit gateway will allow the traffic to this one. Okay, that route will be attached to going through this one. So now from here to here, here to here, we should be able to route the traffics, and also the internet gateway also be attached. Okay, so 0, 0.0 and internet gateway. The internet gateway is VPC2 IG, and that save changes. Okay, similarly now that VPC3 and this one, and if you want to connect from VPC3 to VPC1, and also what we have to do, we have to go to route table. Okay, VPC3, we don't have any kind of a routes. We can just go and add routes and add route, and first one is will be internet gateway. Internet will be, let's create internet gateway, and this internet gateway will be created, and then save changes, and then okay, now then the routes, we can enable routes for the, let's add this guy's VPC. Sorry, slash 24. Okay, 24. I want to transfer through transit gateway. Transit gateway is VPC attachment 3 transit gateway. I'm connecting over here. Okay, now I should be able to transfer the connectivity from here to this guy, but here I'm going to add this one more kind of route to enable this guy to this guy, right? Okay, I'm going to route table again. Route table 1, we already enabled the route to the the transit gateway, which is the second, which is the 182, this 24, which is this guy, and I want to enable route for 172 also. Okay, and then edit routes. Okay, 172.168. Slash 24. Okay, so I'm allowing this guy through this VPC, whatever the VPC attachment we have done, transit gateway, and I VPC attached to VPC1, that's what is there, and now I'm just allowing it from here to here. Okay, so this is how and if you want to connect from here to here, what you have to do? Ashita?
Yes.
Yeah, what you have to do to connect from here to here?
We have to again create internet.
Internet.
No,
Route table, right? You need to go and edit route table and allow the route table, add route table from, like add route table, whatever the VPC is, the 192.168.0.0. Then I don't know like which VPC is this one. I selected. I just cancel it, and which, okay, route table 2, route table 2 to route table 3. If you want to connect, I can just go and edit route table routes and edit routes, and add routes and 192.168.168.0.0 sorry 172.172.16.0.0 slash 16. Okay, then the transit gateway and oh sorry, transit gateway, this one attachment to, and then create it. Okay, similarly we need to go to route table of 3. Okay, we can enable the route for this guy.
Can't we do?
Sorry,
Why can't we?
why can't we? Your voice was broken.
When you are creating like for 1 and 2 at the same time, why can't we create connection like 1 and 3 at the same time? Why we?
Sorry, your voice was not audible. Arshita, you are audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, tell me again.
Uh, we have created, for example, VPC1 is there. For VPC1, first we have connected with the 2, and then through first we have connected 2, then we have created gateway, and again we are creating connection with 3, right? Why can't we do it at one step, like by coming back? Is it possible?
No, I didn't get a question because your voice was little broken in between. So you mean to say that whenever I'm just creating one, why don't we? When you are saying that when you're creating VPC 1 to 2, and
Huh.
same time also you can do 2 to 3, right?
Huh.
Yeah, you can do. That's what. See, everything is all about routes. Okay, everything is all about how are you adding a routes here. So which network to which network you wanted to connect it. Okay, from here to there you want to connect, or from there to here you want to connect it, and all these things will be decided based on this route table and whatever the traffic you're allowing from in and out. Okay, so you can also do the same thing once. I mean, at the same time, you can also do this one, right? You can delete everything, and then you can just add only one routes to add it from here to here. And some of the times, right? Some of the times you don't need to add that two routes also. It is okay to add one routes. If you wanted to have that connectivity, okay. But if you wanted to connect from here to, if you want SSH from here to here, okay, that network has to be opened from here to this route. Okay, so that is the reason why from this guy route table you'll be allowing this guy route table. Okay, you can do it in single shot also. I was just explaining it to you in a kind of step by step how to connect it. Okay, see, to be honest, like these are all the concepts will be asked you in the interview questions for sure. Okay, but they won't be asking you to sit and create during the interviews. Okay, so like you can practice 2 to 3 times, or 4 to 5 times, how to create it and all these things, and then focus on kind of like important concept wise. Why this concept? What's the difference between VPC peering and VPC transit gateway? Why, what's the advantage that is this is solving, and what are the different kind of VPNs available? And what is routes? Okay, what's route table? And all this kind of a like kind of a theoretical, theoretically you should be very very strong. Okay, and that's what very important to answer to in your your exams, interviews also, and for exams also there are these kind of a overall concept will be asked. Instead of, because for if you go for exam, they won't be asking you about no, they won't be asking you about like how to please go and create this one. They'll be asking you about the subject objective questions. Okay, select best out of three, something like that. Okay, you should be knowing all these concepts, how to connect and why we are using, what is transit gateway, what is VPC connection, and the connectivity, all these things. Now if you go and create some of the instances from here to here, and then do SSH, whatever we did, and then it should gonna work. Okay, so I'm not going to create instances and all, like, again, it take a lot of time. We have done that instance creation and connectivity in the VPC peering part, right? So that's just that you have to go and create enable that IP tables rules, like, ICMP packets, or install any kind of packages. You just install, then it should work. Okay, so this covers like VPC transit gateway. You understand? Any questions again?
Uh, yeah, no, I understand.
Okay, fine. Okay, see you tomorrow. And tomorrow I share this video. Some of the times, videos getting very lengthy. Okay, let me drop the video.